So important announcement today about an RSV vaccine. What is RSV? Why does this matter? So RSV stands for respiratory syncytial virus. It's not a new virus. It's a virus that, in fact, most people would have had by the age of 2. It's experienced as a cold. It's a flu-like illness. You don't know it's RSV. But in very young people or people with underlying conditions, they can get severe disease, and about 100,000 children every year do die of RSV. The reason you've heard of RSV in the news cycle recently is that there's this massive wave of RSV infections in the US and to some extent in Canada. This is thought to be because we were so effective with our pandemic precautions in preventing the spread of the virus that causes COVID, but we also prevented the spread of other viruses like the flu and RSV. And so there were many fewer cases of RSV in children during those pandemic precautions. And as we open things up now, those kids are going back out and being exposed to this virus. So there's a much larger population of children who are susceptible to getting this virus, which is what makes this announcement from Pfizer even more important. So Pfizer has been working on an RSV vaccine, and what they're telling us is that they have finished their trial. In fact, they had an interim analysis of their results and decided to stop the trial early because the vaccine was found to be so effective. So this was a randomized controlled trial with about 7,400 women. About half got placebo, half got the vaccine. And interestingly, they were trying to protect those newborns, but they didn't give the vaccine to the newborns. They gave it to the mothers. And the idea here is that you give it to the mother while they're pregnant. They form antibodies, and those antibodies get passed on to the fetus through the placenta and through the breast milk, and it protects that susceptible newborn. This is very similar to what happens with other vaccines. In fact, it happens with the COVID vaccine. When given to pregnant women, the babies actually have a lower chance of severe COVID disease in the first 6 months of life. Results here were very similar. In fact, it suggested that in the first 3 months of life, babies born to mothers who had been vaccinated had about an 80% lower chance of severe RSV disease, and in the first 6 months of life, almost a 70% lower chance of severe RSV disease. So again, a virus that's very common can cause severe disease, so very welcome news to have a vaccine that seems to be this effective. Of course, we're going to want to see that full peer-reviewed publication, but definitely very good news, particularly as we see this massive surge of cases.